Well, hello. Welcome, everyone. I am running a little late, but I had good reason. I was coming up with, through meditation, um, I was inspired to do tarot today. I'm going to do a little bit of astrology, but I was inspired to do tarot today. And with the lunar eclipse coming up, I realized I haven't done an actual tarot card spread for the lunar eclipse, so I decided to go into meditation and make one up. Welcome everyone. For those of you that don't know me, I'm sorry. I just start talking when I get on here. My name is Cindy. I'm at Simply Cindi. I am a medium. I have a lot of modalities. I have a science, medical background. Um, what else? I was on here a lot full time on YouTube a while back, probably about 5 years ago, 4 years ago. Um, and then the pandemic hit and other things went on. And so this year I've come back to go back full time. So the algorithm doesn't really know me. So if you guys, and I do want to thank you guys for sharing because I got my analytics and you guys are sharing a lot of my stuff. So I appreciate it. I appreciate all the likes. I appreciate all the share. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate you that have been there with me since 2012 or because I had another channel. I can't remember if I started it in 2012 or 4. This one, I think I started in 14. I'm not really sure. But anyways, if you've been hanging with me since then, thank you. I really do appreciate each one of you. Um, so I'm just kind of letting everybody get through. I've already shuffled the cards because they're so hard to handle. They're really, really slippery. Um, we'll shuffle them a couple of times, but I have to do it very like methodically. But I shuffled them really, really good before we got on camera because I want that energy. So I'm going to talk a little bit, just a little bit uh, of astrology to kind of get you where we're going. So today is the 19th. Happy Equinox Day. This is the start of the new season. We are about to go into Aries season. Aries is a lot of Aries is a lot of, I love Aries. I'm an air sign, and a fire sign. So, I mean, I've got two air and one fire. My moon's fire. Um, so for me, Aries, if you think about it, when I get with an Aries, because I have the air and fire, I mean, what does air do to fire? It just blows it up, makes it bigger, right? So you can imagine me and Aries are like, we can just go and go and go and go, go, go. They're like great friends for me. We just have so much fun. And my daughter's an Aries. So, I mean, her son's an Aries. She's more Capricorn than Aries. But anyway, so it's Aries season. For me, that's a lot of energy. It's going to give me a lot of energy. It's going to give you a lot of energy. It's about me, which we kind of need to do when we're moving through this new space that we're going to. But before we get to the new space, as we're headed that way, right? We've got to release some things. We've got to release some stuff. So that's our south node. That's the south node right here that's going on in Libra, right? That's where we're going to have the lunar eclipse in Libra. Okay, so each sign, it's going to hit you differently in a different area of your life. But the eclipse, think about what an eclipse does. It eclipses the energy, right? You can look at my other videos that really go and explain this. I'm just doing a very, very small job right now, just to kind of get us into the space of where we're going while I do these tarot readings. Um, if you want to know kind of more through the astrology about how that's going to work, you need to go to my other videos. But with this lunar eclipse coming up on Monday, I think is when the 25th is, on Monday, for a lot of us. Remember, I used the scenario of us moving into a new house. We're going to a new space and we're going to move to a new house. It's going to be a bigger, better. What do we want to do? How do we want the house? What are we bringing with us? What are we packing up? That's what we're doing now. What are we packing up and what are we leaving? It doesn't mean that, like, if you guys have moved, you know that sometimes you pack even stuff that you're not sure if you're going to use, but you're going to take it anyway to see if it's going to fit right? And that's kind of what we're doing. But there are obviously some things that you cannot take that It's not necessary to take. You'll miss them. That washer and that dryer, they were so good to you while you were in this house, but it's time for a new washer and dryer, right? And you really loved the washer and dryer and it did you so well. But in the new space, you need a new washer and dryer. In the new space, you can't take the old dishwasher. The new dishwasher's there. Do you get what I'm saying? So there are some things in your life that you no longer need. We get so attached that we think we need them, right? And the universe, your higher self, um, the bigger thing that's going on here is that it's unnecessary for you to take this stuff, but you've grown attached to this stuff because it feels comfortable for you. That's the South Node. It feels comfortable. And it's not, that's just in this life. We're talking about you have stuff from other lives too. You have, and I talked about the 14 generations that you're carrying in your DNA. So you're releasing some of that stuff in this area of life right now, but it doesn't mean you have to release all of them right all at once, right? So what I've done is, and this is what the lunar eclipse is about. It's the universe helping you let go of some stuff, not because it's trying to be mean, but just because it's holding you back. You don't really, it's not necessary anymore. It's not necessary for you to be treated the way you're treated. Maybe when you were a child, you needed to be, um, the example would be, maybe you don't tell the truth a lot because when you were a child, that was the only way that you could survive, was to make other people happy and not tell your truth, right? But you're not a child anymore. You're an adult now, and you have people around you that you can tell the truth to. Only your habit is to keep yourself safe. So you continue to not tell the truth. You're not doing it because you're being mean or you're trying to be deceitful. You're doing it because you're trying to protect yourself. But the universe is like, you're no longer there. You're an adult now. Let's change your habits. Let's change your vibration. And this is just an example. Let's change the way you think. You have people around you that will honor you. You don't have to protect yourself in that way anymore, right? But you have this habit and attachment of doing it that way because you've always done it that way and that kept you safe. Does that make sense? But you don't need it. You're just used to it. So that's why we have these eclipses. It's the universe helping us. You don't need that anymore. Let's do it this way. Let's come this way. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate it. So, in honor of that, and to kind of give us a space to know where we might be heading, and remember, it's an eclipse. It's the South Node. It's you leaving old habits, and it's not anything that you consciously have to do. It's an eclipse. It will do it for you. Okay. So you can consciously be aware of, oh, you know what? I don't need that. And you can let that go. But you have the universe, Mother Earth, the stars, whatever, you have them helping you at this time. And that's what the eclipse is. The lunar eclipse is that. And the lunar eclipse will eclipse your timeline, eclipse your vibration, eclipse what's going on, and move you into the direction of your destiny right here. This was your destiny here. You're letting go of some of your destiny to move into here. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay. So, I'm going to look over here because I just made this spread. I made the spread this morning. I went into meditation. I had, I was inspired, and I told you guys I'm doing it differently this time. I'm not doing it like last time when I was on here. I have to be inspired wherever I go. So if I'm inspired to do tarot, then I'll do tarot. If I'm inspired to do both, I'll do both. If I'm inspired to do astrology, I'll do astrology. If I'm inspired to do Reiki, I'll do Reiki. If I'm inspired to do mediumship, that's what I'll do, right? Um, Kind of my growth and my promise to myself, right? So, but before that, this just reminded me, let's do your vagus nerve. So we like to reset the vagus nerve here, get us into a great space. The vagus nerve helps your anxiety, which is contributes to a lot of your ailments, a lot of the headaches and the nervousness and the my tummy hurts and my back hurts and my legs hurt and all of that. And so let's like reset the vagus nerve. Let's get you into a better space. And you can do this anytime. But I like to do this to sort of get us started. So first thing you want to do is just relax your shoulders, and I want you to move your head to the right and take note. Move your head to the left and take note. You probably have some tightness in one part or the other of the neck. Usually it's one part because a lot of people lean to one side or the other. They kind of, whatever your dominant side is. So just take note of that. Then I want you to cup your hands together, and I want you to put them at the base of where your neck and your skull meet. So at the base of that, right? And I want you to look straight. I want you to relax your wings, relax them. Some of them will come this way because you need to stretch more, but that's okay. Wherever it lands, it lands. Okay. So look straight, and then I want you to move your eyes. Keep your face straight, but move your eyes to the right. Oh, I do it pretty fast. Sorry. Until you yawn, until you get a reaction. Ooh, sorry. Sorry. Until you yawn and get a reaction, right? Then I want you to do it again and move to your left, your eyes, relax until you get a response with the yawning. Okay, sometimes it takes a little. You saw how the right side for me did really quickly. The left side is being a little bit more of a little pest. And then, I am so sorry. And then, once you get the reaction, I want you to turn your head again and again, and you'll notice that it's reset. You'll notice that there's not the tightness. You'll notice that you're feeling a little better. And again, some of you, if you haven't done this before, if you haven't done this in a long time, it may take some minutes, but I've also asked people to add the ball where your gum line and your front teeth are, that little ball. If you'll press with your tongue against that too, that helps with your anxiety. So you can use both of those. You can do those all day long, as many times as you need. It sort of just gets you back into the relaxed state. It kind of helps your body. Remember, I said this yesterday, Saturn in Pisces with Venus, and here's coming Mars, is trying to let you know, what are you implementing? What are you taking responsibility with your body and your spirit, right? What's your belief system? Now that you have all this information, what are you doing with it? What are you doing with it? It's like this tarot. I'm going to give you the information. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to like look at 150 other tarot readers and maybe wait to get to the answer that you want? Or are you going to really pay attention where the universe is trying to tell you this and this could be going on? Pay attention and then implement what you know. That makes sense to you guys? All right. So Aries, we are in Aries season. It is the equinox. I want you to set your intention. Set your intention. You have the rest of the year to let the surprises and the building of the new space happen for you. It doesn't always have to be doom and gloom. I told you, they want you afraid. They want you to be scared. They want you to not think that you're more than you are. They're very aware of who you are, very aware of what you can do. That's why they want you afraid. That's exactly why they want you afraid. Don't believe me? Go look at the documents that, it's everywhere. We have information now. Go look at the documents the CIA's done. It's right in your face. They tell you. Okay? Go investigate that. Go look at that. There's education and there's ancient wisdom that we have access to. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to stay in your little bubble and worry about, what they want you to worry about, or are you going to expand? You have the rest of this year to excitedly unfold. You have the universe telling you, I'm about to eclipse for you and help you let go of what's confusing you to move you into the more expanded space, right? So be excited. Be like a child. Be excited. What's to come? What's to come? I have no idea. My life, y'all's life, has been hell. It's not been good. It's been bad. Have there been beautiful, wonderful, gorgeous times? Absolutely. But lately, over the past 4 years, as soon as you go up, you go down. As soon as you go up, you go down. But that doesn't mean that it's going to stay like that. It's us going into this new space. Be excited for it. Be happy for it. And with that, I'll get started before I go on a rant. Okay, so the first the first sign that I picked to do is Virgo. Now, this is a new spread. I just did it this morning. This is for the lunar eclipse. Okay, so for Virgo, bear with me because I'm going to kind of tell you what the spread is about. So because we're going into this lunar eclipse of Libra, Virgo, in relationships or partnerships where do I stand? Okay, so this is for Virgo. In relationships and partnerships, where do I stand? That's card number 1. Okay, and you have the 8 of Pentacles. Okay. In relationships and partnerships or partnerships, where do I stand? You have the 8 of Pentacles. That's actually a good thing. Okay. And then the second, and again, forgive me, I have to look over here because I wrote everything down because I just invented it. And then card number 2 is for, and this is for Virgo, for those of you, this is for Virgo. What is ready to come out of the shadows and be seen? What is ready to come out of the shadows and be seen? You have the Star card. What is ready to come out of the shadows and be seen? And then card number 3 is what will be eclipsed over the next 4 months? What will be eclipsed over the next 4 months? You have the Lovers. I kind of told you guys that. Like, I'm feeling if you don't look at this, I see that you are looking at it though, but I'm feeling like if you don't look at what you really need to look at, it's gonna like slap you in the face. I felt that the other day. I tried to tell you guys. And then number 4 is what opportunities will come about because of this eclipse? Not just opportunities, but what growth and or opportunities will come about because of this eclipse, right? That you'll be working through in the next 4 to 6 months. You have the Hierophant upside down. Sorry. You have the Hierophant reversed. Okay. It looks like you are separating from systems and the way that you've done things in the past. That's really good, Virgo. Okay, so the first question was, in relationships and partnerships, where do I stand? You have the 8 of Pentacles. I'm just kind of want to look at this for a second before I start to, well, I've already started a channel, but before I start to explain it to you guys. So, where do you stand? What's ready to come out of the shadows? Ooh. Y'all got some eye-opening stuff coming. What will be eclipsed? And okay. So I'm seeing here in your first position in relationships and or partnerships, and for you guys, I feel like it's both. I feel like there's business and then there's personal. I feel both. Okay. Like both are changing for you guys. And I feel like with the Eight of Pentacles, you have been paying attention or you begin to pay attention. I see this a couple of ways. With some of you, I see that the business part is further along than the personal part, but that's what you've done is you've like focused, hyper focused on one and ignored the other, right? Um, yes, it's best to listen to your rising. But you can listen to all three, sun, moon, and rising, to kind of get a bigger, fuller perspective, if that makes any sense. Like your rising to me, your ascending to me is where all the physicalness, it's the most accurate that will show you personally. The sun is what you will be attached to more. So you'll understand it better through your sun because you identify mostly with your sun. Um, Unless you're older like me and you've kind of grown into your ascending, right? Um, and your moon is where you'll feel it. Your moon is where that emotional stuff will come in and the way that people will bring that to you. Does that make sense? Okay, so back to this, and I'm sorry, I'll try not to look over here at you guys talking. Okay, so the Eight of Pentacles, I feel like it's two ways. I feel like a lot of you hyper focused on either the business partnership, the work, relate those relationships, and then you ignored your personal because that's what you know you should be changing, but it's like you couldn't do both. You had to hyper focus on one. Okay. So you either did it in your job or you either hyper focused in personal with your lover, your partner, your family, your all of that, and then ignored work, or you hyper focused on your career, those relationships, and ignored your personal. That's what I feel. Either way, you're an eight, so I feel like you're sort of balancing this. That was probably until about 3 weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and I feel like you're more balanced now. I feel like you have been paying attention. I feel like things have finally come about where you're like, now I really have to focus on this. I really have to like do something about this. And what do I do? And I don't know what to do. And sort of you're focused on this. You are an eight with this. And then the second one. So I feel like you're okay where you're standing. I feel like, well, honestly, you're in the perfect space that you're supposed to be in where you're standing. We all are. But I feel like you kind of see that. I feel like you kind of get it. I feel like I do feel like y'all are being very brave. I feel like you're like, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going to do the best that I can. Yeah, I do feel like that. It makes my heart warm. I feel like that. Um, but you're in a good spot. You're going to be working on this like consciously. You're going to be working on this. Okay. So what's ready to come out of the shadows and be seen? I think a lot of this stuff, and you've got the star card. Um, I see this two ways. Because you guys know normally the star card, I see them like giving you a present. But I don't feel like that this time. With the star card, I feel like as you are focusing, there is not just, how do I say this? You're so critical of yourself that you think, if I delve into this, then I'm just going to find problem after problem after problem after problem. And it almost gets overwhelming, and that's why you choose to ignore, right? And I think what's getting ready to shadow, the shadow that's getting ready to be lit up so that you can see, is that you are not as broken as you think you are. Like, I can say that to you, but you guys don't, I don't think you understand that you really are not. It's not as bad as you think it is. It's not, this is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like as you open this up, I'm feeling like as the shadow comes out, yes, Have some bad things happen to you? Have you done some bad things? Yes. Um, or some not so nice things. I wouldn't say horrible things, but not so nice things. Yes. But you're so overly critical that I feel like you think it's worse. It's not even think. It's like you feel like, no, it's going to be worse. I already know it's going to be worse. And you are intuitive, so you think you're getting that right, and you're not. Um, I feel like as you open this up, I feel like as the shadows come out, I feel like you'll feel more relieved, and you'll realize that things aren't so bad, that it's almost like there's not always a problem. And you're thinking, if I open this up and I look in this direct, it's one problem after another, and then just more is going to come and more is going to come and more. It's not. That's the surprise. That's the star. That's the shadow stuff that's coming up, is that you're going to realize you're further along than you are, and you're not broken. You're not. You're just sometimes a little misguided. That's all. That makes sense? Okay. And then number 3 is what will be eclipsed in the next 4 to 6 months? You have the lovers. So not only am I seeing this 8 of Pentacles that you're trying to work on, and then I just explained the star card to you, how it's not as bad as you think it is. But you have the lovers. And to me, the lovers has always been the good and the bad of a relationship. So you will be focused on relationships and the way that you're handling them. And again, it's going to be more balanced. That's the Libra part for you. It's the balance. Like, because you've been ignoring one and not the other. And I feel like this eclipse will either, this is what I'm feeling, will either take something away so that you can balance this. So if you're working too much, then it's going to take that away where you can't work too much and you have to focus on your personal life. If you focused on your personal life and ignored your career, then that's going to be like cut off. Like, I'm not going to say people are going to die or anything, but like you're not going to have time to do it. You're going to get a big project or whatever this is, you're going to be more balanced, but it's going to teach you that you can do this in a very balanced way. The lovers to me isn't all this, oh, it's so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. The lovers to me is like, there's good and then there's bad. It reminds me. It reminds me of what my husband told me when we were, I think you guys have heard this. It reminds me of what my husband told me when we were engaged. He took me to a beautiful dinner on the water at night. It was very romantic. And then, I was like, oh, I love you, blah, blah, blah. And he said, can't believe I'm telling you all the story. He said, I know that you love me and I love you too, but it's not always going to be this way. And I want you to promise me that in 20 years, when you roll over and you can't stand me, that you'll still love me and let me know. That's what this reminds me of. And it didn't take 20 years, it took 7. It's like, it's once the feels go away and you have to take the responsibility and you have to, it's not about like, oh, well, I just don't like that person anymore, so I'm leaving, right? No, you still love the person. And even though you don't like them that day, you still commit. It's a commitment. That's the lovers. And that's where you're getting to. That's what I feel like you'll be working through, working on. And I feel like the eclipse is going to make it like, again, balanced, right? Or maybe because remember, we are in Aquarius energy because of what I'm feeling with this last card, the Hierophant, and it's upside down. What opportunities will come about because of this eclipse, right? With the Hierophant upside down, I feel like you are not where you are used to doing it the correct way because there's a system, because there's an organization, marriage, dating, what else? I'm trying to think of work, a career, like a system in the career with the medical field, the healthcare field, the teacher field, whatever this is, like there's systems there. I feel like you're going to come up with a way, like maybe you understand through, if it's relationship, right? If it's personal and it's relationship and you're trying to decide, do I want to get married? I do love this person. What, I'm kind of feeling that, like, but it's a lot. Maybe because I need my space sometimes, but I don't want to offend them. Maybe you do, because I am feeling Aquarius here. It's Aquarius energy. Maybe you do figure out a way to be truthful about, like, I'm sorry that I am not telling you the truth, but I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I'm trying to work on that. And maybe you guys come to some sort of resolution where, I don't know, remember I told you it's Aquarius energy. Like, we're talking, you could be living with your adult children and your husband could be at a different house. Like, this is Aquarian energy, right? That's just an example that I'm getting. Another example would be like, I don't want to work the 40 hours. I do need to make this money, but maybe I get into this project or do it this way. It's going to be very different. You're going to be escaping. That's what's going to be happening. Your life is changing. You're going to be escaping the normal 9 to 5 or 40 hours a week or whatever this is, because a lot of you don't. Oh, yeah. A lot of you feel, I don't have enough resources, so I'm going to work triply hard to get the resources because that's the only way that I know. Is that correct? I feel like that's correct. What's going to happen is you're going to come to an understanding that you don't have to, because we're not in the same space. It's not going to look like it always was. Like in the past, if you had to work 40, 50, 60 hours to make that money, that's you. If you try to do that now, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It doesn't matter if you work 40, 50, 60. It's not going to be enough, because that's not the way you're supposed to be doing it. And that's what you're going to come to understand. That's what you're going to come to understand. Thank you, Parks, for letting me know. I could feel that it was right. So in this eclipse, you're understanding a different way to do things, and you'll be working on that for the next 4 to 6 months. That help? I hope that helped. Okay. Now, the next one, I hope that helps, Virgo. Yeah. I do feel like you're going to get opportunities. But let me tell you that, and let me tell you this, because take it from me, Virgo South Node, who tried to do it that way. It's not going to work. That's what they were showing me. They were like, it's you all over again. Don't tell them not to do that. Do not. I'm telling you, take it from me. Don't think you can work triply hard to make more money, or work triply hard on your like shower, like if it's even personal and you're working in a relationship, like shower them with a relationship and it's going to make it better. You cannot do it the same way that you've done it before. You can't. It's not this energy. It's a different energy. So either you can take it from me and don't do it that way, which means if you're thinking about doing something, do the opposite. That's how I worked it. Do the opposite. I know it's going to go against every bone in your body. I know it is. Trust me, I know it is. But that's the way to do it, because you're going to end up working 50, 60, 70 hours and still have nothing and be in worse shape than you were. I can tell you that for a fact. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay? And in your relationships, do not overdo it. You have to be, it's time for you to be authentic with them if you need the space. If you're trying to tell the truth at some points, instead of letting them assume that that it is the truth, which is your way of saying, well, I didn't really lie, right? It's not going to work out. You have to do it differently. It's time. It's time. You'll be working on this, though. We got 2 years, but this one's going to be a little bit more pronounced, right? Yeah. Yeah, but I can tell you by the Hierophant upside down, it's you have to do it differently than you did it before. You have to. It's just not the same. Trust me, I know it's going to be very difficult. Trust me, I can remember the feeling. I can still remember the feeling of like, oh my God, I just want to do it that way, but I already know not to do it that way because I already messed it up. Like every bone in your body wants to do it that way because that's the south node. That's what you've been doing for lifetimes. That's what you know to do. You can't do it that way. You're letting go. And to make it even bigger, why are we letting go? Why are we letting go of that part? Well, maybe it's because you said, I don't want to work so dang hard. I want to have plenty. I'm not trying to be wealthy, but I want to have enough. I want to be okay. I want to have some peace. I want to have some happiness. I want to have some, and I don't want to have to work all the time. Maybe that's what you said. And that's where you're going to do it in a different way. We all are. But we're having the birth pains, you know? Well, here we go. Okay.